Lanzhou, Gansu, buildings collapse in China. You get this all the time. China builds things out of what we call tofu dregs. It means the dregs of when you make tofu. It's wobbly. It's not consistent.
It's what's left over.
What's left over. Huge disaster. Of course, something to expect in China, but it did happen on the 14th. Another thing that happened here. This one's fascinating. Remember we were talking about the people burning factories down?
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that in a second, but the people are burning factories down all over the country, but it's not limited to wage disputes in factories. It's not limited to teachers not getting paid. It's not limited to police not getting paid. Now it's even the lowest paid people.
Correct.
In
I mean,
China.
these are sanitation workers. I mean, you may know them as street sweepers where you're from, but basically the street sweepers in China, they're expected to deal with a lot because they're there all the time, just sweeping up after people, and people throw trash on the ground and they just pick it up. Right?
Yeah, and China is a country where you'll just see trash everywhere because people just chuck it on the ground.
And they perform such an important role because if they're not there, the streets would fill up with trash. And so what happened is these guys had not gotten their salary for half a year.
Half a year, you see that comment
6
there.
months.
Half a year.
So they were like, okay, screw it then. They just dumped the stuff on the street there and they're like, we're not going to pick it up.
Look at that sheer madness.
And you know what? That's probably just like a couple days worth of, or
It is.
like 8 days worth of garbage.
So my favorite thing about this was somebody in the comments said, he's a sanitation worker.
Yeah.
He goes, we sanitation workers in Xiangkou Street in Wuhan.
Yeah.
We earn can you go back?
Yeah,
there
I'll go
quick?
that.
We earn 950 yuan per month. When I saw this, I was like, because I'm even buying into propaganda that at least they probably make like $300 a month or something.
Sure.
These guys in Wuhan, so where COVID comes from. You know how China released COVID by accident through its lab where it created COVID?
Yes.
China created COVID in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
And then
it's not a debate.
Yes, and then it released, and then they covered it up and let it spread.
At least we think so.
Yeah.
This guy in Wuhan, the place where COVID's from,
Yeah.
makes 950 yuan per month to do that job.
Yes, and that's $132 a month.
That's a full-time job.
Yes.
China is putting out propaganda on TikTok and on YouTube and stuff to make you think that Chinese people earn more than Americans. It's like, bro, you're a third world country.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, so anyway, this is what happens when you don't pay your sanitation workers for half a year. They don't do their work for a day and you get this.
Yes.
It's quite disturbing. A lot of leaks about pollution these days.
Look at this.
I love how it's right underneath the police station, by the way.
That's my favorite attribute. My other favorite attribute, this is one of China's richest cities in the whole country. Ningbo, Zhejiang. Zhejiang province is the most developed province, Zhejiang and Jiangsu.
Yes.
By a long shot in China.
Yeah.
And they're just dumping raw-ass pollution in the main water source of the center of the city.
Yeah, look at that. The whole river is black from pollution.
But again, China is leading the world in green technology and dealing with pollution better than any Western country. We should listen to that.
Yeah. Now, this is a different story completely. This is in another part of the country. This is in Guangxi.
A couple days later?
Yeah, a couple days later in Guangxi. A blogger filmed this and said that this happens every time it rains. This company just releases pollution into the river streams. And I guess it's like, okay, it's raining, so people don't go outside. They're not going to see it type idea.
This is a main city of Guangxi.
Yeah. And this is somewhere else.
This is in Yutian and Hebei.
Yeah.
This is literal provinces that are so far away from each other. It's not even funny.
So again, this illustrates that this is a countrywide problem.
Yes.
It's not like, because you could always go and blame like, oh, there's this one bad factory in this one town. No, there's this one bad country in this one country that just pollutes its entire country.
Some of them is raw sewage.
Yeah.
Some of this is factory runoff.
Yes.
It is giving people cancer. It's
Yes.
making people die of botulism and dysentery.
Yeah.
It's affecting everyone in the
Yes.
country. Over 90% of China's fresh water is unusable now.
Yeah.
Even when boiled.
This is funny, okay? Because again, this guy got really angry. He's filming this because this is in his this is his neighborhood. This is his area.
Yes.
Okay. So he went to
Just 2 days ago.
Yeah, so he went to complain. And he went to like the government building to complain at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Okay? And when he got there, you'll see in a second when we get you got to see the actual stuff he's filming. The officials were sleeping. Okay, he's here. He took a photo of these officials. I'm pretty sure this guy's going to get in trouble.
Yes.
And then when he finally woke them up and they came out to look at it, they said they've tested the water and it's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Nothing wrong with that.
This stinking polluted water. There's nothing wrong with it. Look at that, by the way. You can see, look at that the chemicals coming out of the pipe.
Chemical zone.
Yeah, exactly.
We should have played Chemical Zone.
But don't tell Sonic. He'll be here. So, yeah, we found this other clip as well, because, China's pollution is one of those horrible situations where China pollutes China, but it also pollutes the rest of the world.
Yes.
Okay, so here you got a guy. Where was this even taken?
This was taken, I can't remember. Somewhere not in China, though. That's for sure.
Plastic. From China. Very good. Thanks for destroying our ocean.
Do you see that? The dolphins celebrating.
He took the Chinese trash out of the water.
Yeah.
And the dolphins said, Alleluia.
Exactly.
Praise
Isn't that
the
great?
Lord.
Yeah. Guys, we are going to be updating our map because remember last week there were some more fires. So
just a catch up. If you're going to get us out of here real quick so you can see the title. These are factory sabotage fires in China in 2025 alone.
Yes.
Just this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just this year.
That would make international news if one of those happened in the West.
Yes.
Factory sabotage. Remember, it's more important in China because China's a manufacturing economy.
Yes.
So Chinese people aren't getting paid. The economy's going down the dumps, in the toilets.
Yep.
There's so much unrest that people are literally setting their factories on fire. And destroying their economy.
Allowing the trash to litter the streets.
Yes, it's getting out of control.
Yeah, it is.
It hasn't stopped.
No, and I think every single week we will be adding to this particular map. And
hopefully not.
I mean, I predict that we will, and eventually the whole map will just be aflame.
Yes, and China will have no more manufacturing economy.
Yeah, well, I mean, they rebuild the factories.
It takes a long time to get back up to snuff. This is doing devastating damage.
I mean, it is, for sure. Okay, a couple days ago, we had a massive firework factory explosion.
Yeah, 4 days ago. This is in Chengde and Hunan. This is actually, Hunan's actually, you can turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, well.
Hunan's where most of China's fireworks are made. And when you go buy fireworks, from, most of them are from China, number one.
Yes.
Number two, most of them are
from
Hunan.
Well, they come from China. That's an actual invention from China.
Yeah, I'm saying, but if you're buying them, you're getting them from China.
Yes.
And you're probably getting them from Hunan.
Yeah.
In southern China. But there was a massive factory, firework explosion. Did so much freaking damage.
Yes. One thing, you'll see in a minute, we've got a great shot of the actual aftermath, the aerial site. But my favorite part were the official reports that reported that only one person was killed.
One?
One, yes.
Are you kidding me?
That was the official report.
This was, nobody knew it was coming.
No.
How many people work at that factory?
For it to explode, there must have been someone in the factory to set it off, right?
It was only the guy that did it.
Yeah, it's only one.
Just
the one guy happened to be in this big factory all by himself, making fireworks for everybody. You know what I mean?
I don't mean to laugh about destruction.
No,
I'm just laughing at the absurdity.
Can you just see?
Just leave it. Yeah.
See how it's like a bomb went off.
That's absurd. It did go. A bomb did go off.
Yes, lots of bombs because that's what fireworks are. I mean, you can see entire buildings have been razed, and they're like, oh, one person died. See, there's still a couple fireworks going off there.
It's insulting to the victims.
Yes.
To think one person perished.
Yeah, and you can see far away the windows are falling out of houses from people living far away. But yeah, one person died. Nonsense.
You remember when that explosion happened in Tianjin? Was it was it looked like a nuclear bomb.
It did. The footage is incredible.
And it happened in the city of a city with 10 million people.
Sure.
And they said 100 people died or something.
It was so ridiculous.
It had to have been 100 times that.
Oh, easy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do the bare minimum.
It completely wiped out city blocks when it went off. Remember?
Yeah. Yes. The whole blocks were gone. They were vaporized.
And the whole dock area there, it was insane. Yeah. This is quite a big explosion. You got a lot of people managed to get footage of this out. But again, the idea that only one person died in this tragedy is absurd. But that's what they want you to believe.
Number two, how much more of this is going to happen?
Or how much more of this does happen that doesn't get leaked out.
Yeah, that's true. China blocks everything coming in and out, right? So we're in a situation now where we're kind of fighting for like dregs of information that maybe gives you a picture of what's happening in China. How many factories went up that we don't even know about?
For sure.
You know?
Tons.
Maybe daily.
Especially small ones. You know, you get lots of these little factories making like cell phone chargers and stuff.
Making like calculators or something.
Yep.
You know, like
that one.
Sweatshop stuff.
Yeah, people won't even post that.
No.
Because it's so small.
Yeah, that's so common.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Looks like Mount Vesuvius. That's right. By the way, guys, please give this a thumbs up. We're going to get this on more feeds. Make sure YouTube doesn't bury this. So, costs nothing. Just click the thumbs up.
Oh, yeah,
button.
we'd
It'd
appreciate that.
Really help out. I'd appreciate that. Let's try to get this up to 3,000 likes if we can.
That'd be cool.
We're at about 1,000.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, moving along from the fireworks factory explosion, which...
Oh, yeah, because there's a hell of a lot more that's been happening this week.
I shall fast forward a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, because we got lots of footage. A lot of people sending, clips of this.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that mushroom cloud. Doesn't it look like there's a nuclear bomb going off there or something?
It really, 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 really does.
Yeah, I mean, look at the size of that. Don't worry, only one person died, dude.
Yeah. You know what? I want to live in China's fantasy world. Where only one person dies from a massive nuclear-looking bomb.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be better?
Oh, yeah, and like no one died of COVID.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know.
Remember when the graph just stopped?
Yes, they just stopped counting it.
Stuff.
Yeah.
And they stopped like 5,000 or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're like, no one's dying.
Yeah, it's all fine.
Talk about it. No one's dying.
Let's move on to this particular... Sorry, let me just get to this.
Just want to say in the chat, it was interesting. You know, when we said the thing about COVID coming from Wuhan, the bot stuff went insane.
Yeah, it always does.
No, it went nuts live. So everyone give a thumbs up and say hi in the chat to the Wumao, hi to the trolls, hi to the Chinese bots.
Yep.
They're working extra hard.
So guys, Guangzhou, if you don't know, used to be called Canton. Okay, it's the capital of the Guangdong province where we both lived. Big first-tier city. You've probably seen like the flashy Canton Tower, all that kind of stuff. So this is, again, top of the pops in China. This is where you expect them to put the most effort into the infrastructure.
For sure.
Well, I mean, here you've got a massive sidewalk just collapsing in Guangzhou, right next to a bunch of shops over there at a real estate development. Because, they put these things up quickly, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the only tofu drake thing that happened. By the way, this is again on the 16th, just a couple days ago. This massive retaining wall collapsed onto a road.
Yes.
There, you can actually see it falling down. Someone filmed it as it fell down. Look at that. This is just par for the course in China. This isn't a top-tier city. This is like if it happened in New York.
Yeah, like a new project in Manhattan.
Yeah, if they built a new project and all that.
Project.
Yeah, the Manhattan project, and then it just fell over onto the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, great job, guys. Great job.
Great job.
The Great Fall of China.
That's the Great Fall of China.
Right there, yeah.
It's very emblematic, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, it's like there's still people on that road and stuff,
Yeah.
Not good.
Huge gas explosion. This is an example of one of those smaller things happen that probably happen everywhere, every day.
Yes.
Can attest, though, there was all kinds of disasters when we were living in China all the time like this. Massive gas explosion happened in Jinan and Shandong, all the way up north in China.
Yeah.
This is kind of near, if you guys have heard of Qingdao beer.
Yes.
Qingdao beer, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, it's you might pronounce it as Tsingtao.
Tsingtao, yeah.
Because that's it's actually a misspelling. It's an old way of writing.
Oh, there
Chinese.
goes the explosion.
Yeah.
One of the explosions there, yeah.
And you kind of near there.
Yep.
Where that beer comes from is where this is. Mm-hmm. Just to give us a little perspective. Again, very developed area, very wealthy city. This is not a rural farmer accident. This is in the middle of a massive city, the capital of the province.
Correct.
Jinan.
Again, I mean, you see the propaganda coming out of China and you would think China's just flashy skyscrapers and everyone's living in the future and, everyone's wealthy and happy.
For sure.
But that's not the case.
By the way, I just want to say about the last thing super quick. Can you pause it? That's not going to be on our fire map.
No.
And I'll tell you why. That's not a factor. We are only documenting like sabotage manufacturing stuff.
Yes.
That's how crazy that map is.
Yeah, exactly. And this is one of those.
This is one of them.
Okay, so this is in Jiangsu.
One of the most, again, richest, wealthiest provinces.
I looked up, because I found the actual street in here. I looked up exactly where that intersection is, and there are 4 factories around there, and they're all textile and plastic factories. So that could have been a textile or plastic.
So, So just some perspective there. That was yesterday.
Yes.
So we had 2 factory sabotage fires, explosions in China that we're able to see this week.
Yeah.
Can they please stop?
It would be nice.
Can they stop? I would love to cover something else, and I would love people to stop being victimized by this stuff.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
It is.
I remember you. You lift my spirit. With you high is all I'm feeling. Remember.
So do you remember what food Box ended up liking?
Loves pine cones.
Pine cones. Like
We've made it to Shah Pool Park. And on the back of my card here, I have our first mission.
I don't know what that is.
You don't?
It's like purple scooter. Yeah. Really suits him.
I'm looking for this girl. She answers to the name of Box. Look at this. Is this someone's like trying to say like I'm here, I'm trapped? What if they're kidnapped or something?
Walker told me I had AIDS.
Wait, what?
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it.